Self-belief and hard work will always earn you success. You know the success Virat Kohli has earned. You can learn a lot about the dedication, the hard work. There is no substitute to hard work in any area. Whether you are a film star, a sports person, a writer, a director, an architect, an investment banker, an IAS officer, a politician, hard work going to give you success for sure. Hello everyone, my name is Chandraprakash Joshi, former AGM RBI. In this video, we are discussing another 20 questions. This is the 11th video in the series. If you have not gone through the earlier video, please go through. Starting with the question which I asked you last time, banks are required to lend 40% of ANBC to the priority sector. Which of the following committee recommended this 40% recommendation first time? Swami committee, and this is very old, like 1972. After the National Credit Council emphasized that there should be a larger involvement of the commercial bank in the priority sector. First, the banks were given 33.33% of their total credit to priority sector. Later, following the recommendation of the K.S. Krishnaswamy committee, this target was revised to 40%. Useful for NABARD exam also. We are doing live sessions for phase 2. If you are still unsure about how your phase 2 preparation is going on, still there is time. Because phase 2 preparation is a very focused preparation. The syllabus is limited. You have to study it very well, and then you have to learn how to write, because now your 2/3 of the exam in the phase 2 has become descriptive exam. The writing skills play very important role, and writing skills is not only about the knowledge you have. I am telling you again and again, it is up to you. You follow it. The financial practice of pooling contractual debt such as residential mortgage or personal loan and selling their related cash flows to third party is called, very simple question but maybe difficult for you, it is called securitization. So securitization means creating securities. Securities are tradable. So what happens? Debt is an asset. You have given debt to someone, bank has given debt to someone, so bank is going to get that money back in future when the debt will be repaid. So these debts are pooled, right? Debts are pooled and converted into securities. So suppose there are housing loan of 80 lakh, 100 lakh, 70 lakh. You created a portfolio of 100 crore such small housing loan. Then again this portfolio you issued securities. These loans are not tradable, but the securities, these are securities means a kind of bond. These are tradable in the market, and this process of converting debt into securities is called securitization. In the case of this 2008 financial crisis, these CDOs had lot of blame to take, because there was so much of mortgage debt which was converted into CDOs and then sold it to other investors. Go through the global financial crisis video on the channel. This is on our main channel by Sikha Madam. You will understand that better. And daily BPD, I hope you must have started downloading this, because daily dose of BPD is going to build a very strong foundation for your RBI Grade B preparation and for all other exam, whether it is NABARD, SEBI, RBI, Bank PO, SBI PO, RRB, because this BPD is meant for these banking and finance exam. Which of the following type of investment made by banks need not to be marked to market? You have to understand the concept of mark to market. Means the price of the bond has to be adjusted based on the market price of the bond. Market price of the bond keep on changing because of the interest rate keeping changing in the market, but held till maturity, because whatever happens to the interest rate, the bond somebody has bought for the purpose of holding it till maturity. HTM category. These categories are not required to be marked to market. AFS and HTF category available for sale and held for trading. So these two categories, held for trading means investment to be sold within 90 days of the investment made, and held for sales means bank has intention to sell them before the maturity. So bank has to do this categorization whether this is AFS or HTM. Held for trading is within 90 days you are going to sell. So these prices keep on changing, so you have to mark to market price, but in case of HTM it is not required. Mr. Natarajan Sundar has been appointed as the MD and CEO of NARCL. Which of the following is not correct in respect to NARCL? It is a special purpose asset reconstruction company set up by the government for taking over the large value NPA account. Correct. IDRCL is created along with NARCL as a resolution company. Because you have to find out what is not correct. Board of NARCL will have 9 directors. We have to remember this. Maybe tough, but yes. Sponsor bank of NARCL is Canara Bank. NARCL is intended to resolve stress loan asset over 100 crore, each amounting to rupees 2 lakh crore. Not correct. last statement, because intended to resolve stress loan above 500 crore is amounting to above 2 lakh crore. PSB will maintain 51% ownership in NARCL, remaining private sector bank. Till date, 15 bank hold stake in NARCL, with Canara Bank being the sponsor bank. India Debt Resolution Company, NARCL, is National Asset Reconstruction Company. Remember the full form also of these, and the major purpose is created along with the NARCL as a resolution company. So it is a resolution purpose. This is for reconstruction of the debt. Reconstruction happens mostly in case of when the debt has some problems. Maybe you can say when it is becoming NPA. The board of NARCL will have 9 directors. Which of the following committee of the board should be there in banks as per the RBI corporate governance norm in banks guideline? Audit committee must be there. Risk management committee shall be there. Nomination and remuneration committee, all are correct here. All these committees are important committees under the board of this bank. And it is also mentioned that the audit and nomination and remuneration committee should constitute only with non-executive director. Non-executive directors means those who are not executive, not actively participating in the day-to-day business of the bank. The risk management committee should have majority of the members who are non-executive. Executive can be there in minority. Which of the following is an example of the escalation of commitment? Escalation of the commitment. An excitement bill for a new product offering. More employees of the ABC Limited become committed to the success of the organization. Not sure. XYZ Limited continue to pursue the acquisition of a company even as due diligence suggests it will be an unprofitable venture. This is looking something interesting, because going beyond the commitment, when Sanvi comes time to buy a new computer, she purchased a PC instead of the Apple, because they have always used PC and don't want to learn a new operating system. I don't know why this language is like this, because Apple is also a PC. But remember the ad, Apple had an ad that Apple is not a PC. That is how Apple made such a different brand. I am talking out of context, but that is the reason. Otherwise, Apple is also a PC, but PC here means a Windows. This is not correct. A group of employees in PQR Limited registers change even though it meant better working condition. I don't think this is going to be none of the above example. No, I think B is the correct answer here. Escalation of commitment is a human behavioral pattern in which an individual or group facing increasingly negative outcome from some decision, action, investment nevertheless continue the same behavior rather than alter the course. So it is a kind of कमिटमेंट बायस, एस्केलेशन ऑफ द कमिटमेंट. एक बार मैंने कमिटमेंट कर ली तो फिर मैं खुद की भी नहीं सुनता. याद है? यस. तो दिस इज एस्केलेशन ऑफ द कमिटमेंट. एक बार कंपनी खरीदने की सोच ली, once I have decided that I will buy this company, even if it is a loss-making business, I will do that. That is escalation of commitment. Due to COVID-19, many people lost job and were unable to meet their basic necessities. Which of the following would best describe this type of poverty? Absolute poverty, because I thought I will read this first. It cannot be medical poverty. Relative poverty. Situational poverty. Interesting. So I am now confused between C and D. It cannot be generational poverty. So it is situational poverty, because it is not absolute. Absolute is an extreme poverty, abject poverty. In this condition, a person does not have the minimum amount of the income. So otherwise the income was there, but because of this COVID situation, it's a temporary poverty based on the occurrence of something, because of the environmental disaster, job loss, severe health problem. This is a situational poverty. Relative poverty is from the social perspective, that my neighbor is having BMW, I am having Maruti, so I start feeling poor. So that is relative poverty. Which of the following statement about the PM Gati Shakti scheme are true? It will include all the existing and planned initiative of the various ministries and departments with one centralized portal. Through this, different departments will be able to prioritize their project through cross-sectional interactions. All ministries and departments, including the private sector, will now be able to visualize, review and monitor the progress of cross-sectional project through the GIS platform. So not this, that all will not be able to do the scrutiny of others' work. This is not correct. First and second is the right answer. PM Gati Shakti has 6 pillars: comprehensiveness, prioritization, optimization, synchronization, analytical, dynamic. It would not be accessible to private sector players. You read this pause the video, read every statement, and in our questions also, when you go to the answer explanation, you will find these kind of detailed information which helps you in the exam. Which of the following can be a challenge to demographic dividend? Massive unemployment rate. You understand what is demographic dividend? This is a favorite exam question of RBI. Less job opportunities. So basically population is increasing. It will create unemployment. It will create less job opportunities, less market oriented skilling opportunities. Because the question is asking for the challenge. So all these clear challenge to here. There is a population, there can be unemployment, job losses, less job opportunities can be there because there will be more demand, more supply, less demand, and less market oriented skilling. So I will go for option number E, and you shall go for exam B because it is 50% faster in your preparation. Cluttering of clutter we do when we prepare our content. Short crisp videos, short notes, exam focus content. India's massive unemployment, less job opportunities, education system, less market oriented opportunities are some of the major challenges to demographic dividend. Which of the following is major objective of the Samagra Shiksha? Vocationalization of the school education, increasing ratio of people to teachers, increasing good quality midday meals, increasing college admission of a girl child. And you can see none of the above is not going to be there. So it is vocalization of the school education, simple one. This scheme was launched in 2018 by Ministry of the Education. In this budget there is 37,000 crore centrally sponsored scheme. Main outcome is to universal access, equity and quality, promoting vocalization of the education and strengthening the teacher education institution. It subsumed three schemes, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, so Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Now it is Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, so Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan and Teachers Education. All three are Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. In 21, RBI launched the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. The scheme will include under its ambit non-scheduled primary cooperative bank with a deposit size of. We discussed this earlier in an answer explanation. So minimum deposit size here shall be 50 crore rupees for a primary cooperative bank. In this ombudsman scheme, all scheduled commercial bank, private, public and foreign bank, all small finance bank and payment bank, RRBs, scheduled urban cooperative bank. So primary urban cooperative banks are there, non-scheduled primary cooperative bank with deposit of 50 crore and above. This is asked in the question. All deposit taking NBFCs excluding HFCs, housing finance companies, all NBFCs having customer interface with an asset size of 100 crore and above, all these are included in integrated ombudsman scheme. Which of the following statement about the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana are correct? The government sponsored health insurance scheme will provide free coverage up to 5 lakh per family per year at only government hospital. There is no restriction on the basis of the family size, age and gender in the scheme. The benefit cover includes only post-hospitalization expense and not pre-hospitalization expense. So there is no restriction on the basis of the family size, age or gender in the scheme. Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana was launched in 2017, recommended by the National Health Policy. It has two components, Health and Awareness Centers and PMJ. PMJ was launched in 2018. Health insurance scheme that provides free health cover up to 5 lakh per family per year at government or even empaneled private hospital all over the country. PMJ was earlier known as the National Health Protection Scheme. It subsumed the existing Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, which was launched in 2008. There is no restriction on the basis of the family size, age and gender. In June 2022, National Health Authority under PMJ announced the release of newly revamped and dynamic public dashboard that provides a granular view of the PMJ scheme implementation data in a comprehensive manner. Banking system is a sensitive sector prone to frauds, and any mismanagement can lead to the financial crisis. With the banking system handling such cash transactions even is more important. Which leadership style from the following will be most suitable for this department? That is handling the cash transactions. So cash department: autocratic, bureaucratic, democratic, laissez-faire, charismatic. Do you think democracy is going to work here? So if there is a rule, say for example in cash, we remember the rule is the rule of 2 keys. So there are double lock system. You are not supposed to touch the other's key. So democratic system, we will debate, argue, it won't work. Laissez-faire, there is no strict rule. Whatever you want to you do, that will not work. Charismatic, why the leaders charisma is required here? So charismatic leadership is, you can call the leadership of Mandela, the leadership of Gandhi. Narendra Modi also has a charismatic style. Atal Bihari Vajpayee also used to have a charismatic style. So what the charisma of the leader is going to do with the security here? Always eliminate the option. So you eliminate three options. Now autocratic, bureaucratic. Autocracy is a very strict rule, means the boss is dictator. So dictatorship, you are not going to kill someone. You have to follow the procedure. Bureaucratic works best. Follow the procedure. Follow the procedure of locking, unlocking, security, following the rules. Bureaucratic is best here. Which of the following measure of the money supply is called aggregate monetary resource? Very, very simple question. Fundamental you must have studied. The correct answer here is M3. M3 is called the broad money. And know this M1, M2, M3. Please, very, very important question. M1 is demand deposit with the banking system, other deposit with RBI, plus saving deposit of the post office. M2 is with post office. So it is here actually. It's a typing mistake. And then M3 is M1 plus time deposit with the banking system. Bank XYZ Limited maintains a data and recovery center as a part of the disaster management strategy. Which risk it is trying to cover through this? And this is very simple one. It is operational risk. The risk of the operations. Data may get lost in the operations. And this Extreme B session now we are conducting in Pune. There was a lot of demand from the other cities. We did such 2 sessions in Delhi. We are now coming in Pune. If you come from that side of the country, feel free to meet us in offline studies also. This will be a great experience. And operational risk is the risk of loss resulting from the inadequate or failed internal processes, people or system. We try to cover this by taking the etiquette query. In India, economic planning comes under which of the following list? Is it union or state or concurrent list? I hope you understand these lists. So economic planning is done both by state and central government. State also has a budget. Lot many schemes are there in the state government. It's a concurrent list. Union list means the central government, state list is state list. Say for example, defense is in union list. Central government takes care of the defense. State government has nothing to do with that. Police is a state subject. Education is again a concurrent one. Economic planning is concurrent. A tax on all spot conversion of one currency into another is called currency tax, VDA, Tobin, spot. It is Tobin tax. Originally defined as tax on all spot conversions of one currency into other, it was suggested by James Tobin, an economist who won the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences. Tobin tax was originally intended to penalize short-term financial round-trip excursions into another currency. People used to do very frequent selling and buying to take advantage of the arbitrage. So government started taxing it, called Tobin tax. IMF assigns member quota based on the weighted average of the 4 economic indicators. Which of the following is not one of them? 4 economic indicator: population, GDP. GDP must be there. Again I am telling you how to eliminate. So GDP is not going to be. Openness, I think it must be there. See, many a time I don't know the answer. So this answer I don't know, but I am still trying to do an intelligent guessing. Openness must be there. International reserves, for IMF this will be important. Economic variability, I am not very sure whether variability, international reserve, I will eliminate this also. Now I will choose one from the population or economic variability, and you can see the population is the correct answer. Because why to give weightage to population? The weightage is GDP 50%, openness 30%, economic variability 15%, because I think the idea here is that everything, all eggs are not put in one basket. International reserve only 5%. And GDP measurement happens through a blend of GDP. That is market exchange rate 60% and PPP 40%, purchasing power parity. Which of the following will result in increase in the liquidity in the market? Increase in CRR and SLR, so this will result into decrease in the liquidity market. Reduction in the base rate by major bank. Reduction in repo. So repo, when it is down, so it will increase the reduction in the liquidity, increase in the liquidity. So reduction in the base rate and reduction in the repo, because this is declining the interest rate, it will increase the liquidity. Above what amount of aggregate exposure banks have to furnish credit information to CRILIC. CRILIC is Central Repository of Information on Large Credit. You have to remember this full form also. This amount is 5 crore. This PCRA is Public Credit Registry. All loans above the amount of 5 crore has to be reported under acrylic by the bank. Any fund based and non-fund based exposure. Non-fund based is BCLC kind of exposure. This you answer. A mobile application for aiding visually impaired person to identify the denomination of the Indian banknote is RBI law. On this mobile application, this app, you have to write the name of the app or the option in the comment below. I keep on saying, the more you practice, the more you participate, the better you become. Successful people are not gifted, they just work hard, then succeed on purpose. Keep practicing for your exam. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Only iExamB helps you in your preparation 50% faster.